Oh, it's the boss's office.
Oh my God, it's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them for the better. Oh good, we're here.
What? What is this? What's up, fellow Titans? I'm the Blue Titan, and welcome back to another episode of the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Special Edition MLG 360 No Scope Backflip Baja Blast Halo Montage Snoop Dogg Dance Doritos Edition. Well, anyway, it's been about 2 weeks and some change since I last uploaded for this game, and I apologize for that, by the way, because I've been getting messages from folks asking, when are you going to get back to the Stanley Parable? What happened to the Stanley Parable? Are you playing Oblivion now? Did you give up? Are you already done with the Stanley Parable? No, folks, honestly, I probably could have handled it a little bit better, but with the Oblivion Shadow Drop, Mother's Day, learning more about video editing, I had a lot of other things going on. I kind of backshelved this game, but I have every intention of going back through and finishing the majority, at least, of the endings of this game, and more on that in just a moment. There's some good news and some kind of awkward and funny news. In the last video, I talked about how I thought we had exhausted a lot of the endings. I thought, okay, yeah, we've gone through a lot of the endings. There's not a lot left. Maybe there's another ending for the input buttons. Sometimes when you'd start the game, there would be a little pink square on some of the screens of the computer monitors, and you'd click it and it would say awaiting input. You'd click it and then nothing else would happen. Then you'd see another awaiting input. I think we got to 2 inputs, maybe 3, I don't remember, but then we never finished that. So I knew that there had to be something with that, right? I also thought there might be another ending to the bomb story. I still couldn't figure out the puzzle, and I kind of gave up on that because I was frustrated with maybe a little bit of pride, but I didn't want to keep on recording for that and just keep failing. But anyway, I decided at some point the amount of new endings I was just going to happen upon was probably going to slow down dramatically, and I didn't want to sit and record a 4-hour playthrough and find 2 new endings. So instead, I decided to go online and look and see if there was any guidance out there on how to find those endings. And what I found was a very nice flowchart without real spoilers. They have the names there of them, but it doesn't spoil anything. It just shows you, that there are endings out there. And I gotta tell you, there are a lot of endings. So that's the good news. The awkward news is I thought we were almost done. We're not even close. So if you like the Stanley Parable, we got a ways to go. Here, I'm gonna show this really quickly. So if you look here, this crazy looking thing here is actually a flowchart. Here, we'll focus here. At the start of the game, you are in the office of Stanley. You can then open the door and you can choose to close the door, or you can leave this room, right? And we've seen that. If you remember in one of the previous videos, we closed the door immediately and we got what was called the reluctant ending here in the flowchart. It's when Stanley's too afraid to go out and he just wants to stay in his room. And that's the easiest ending you can get in the game, right? But as you'll notice here, I've also highlighted it. I've taken that step for this entire flowchart. Every ending that we have already completed together is already highlighted. The ones that are not highlighted, we have not completed. The ones that are in red, here's the legend. The ones that are in red, these are the ones that were in the game since the very beginning. The ones in blue apparently are a whole different set of endings we've never seen yet because we never had a bucket. I don't know what they're talking about. I have no idea what's going on. It sounds like something this game would do. I guess there's a whole different set of endings specifically if you have a bucket. I don't know what's going on, folks. I don't know. And then there's also this special endings, which we have seen some of those, which you can kind of see here with the annoyance ending. There's also some note about figurines. That's probably a joke or a nod to the collectibles thing that used to be pretty common back in the day in the late 2000s, early 2010s. The Call of Duty laptops, Gears of War COG tags, Halo skulls, finding these figurines and then unlocking additional content. Pretty common thing back in the day for games. So what we're going to do is knock the ones off as we go through and find them off screen. But note here that there are 2 that are marked out in red. These are 2 additional endings here that say Serious and Face Punch. I had to go and research those, but apparently because of the engine that this game was once written in, Unity or whatever it was written in originally, because this upgraded version of the game was written in a different engine, no longer compatible with some of the original infrastructure of the game, the Serious ending and the Face Punch ending are no longer part of the game. The Face Punch ending, as I understand it, just changed some parts of the game to be a logo, and then the other one is the Serious ending, and the Serious ending was the narrator was like reprimanding Stanley for cheating or accessing the console menu and typing in SV_cheats1. So that was just kind of a little meta joke. This is really funny. But anyway, the rest of them though should be accessible. And as you look through here, you'll see that there's a lot going on. And spoiler alert, I've also looked at a few of these things. There are some things that we, or or I, if you were screaming at your screen that you thought I was wrong on some things, there were some endings in some areas that I hadn't seen. Some things, entire areas I just didn't notice. So we're going to see all those as we go through. But I think that's enough for now of this. But if you want to see this, I can link this. Maybe I'll just link it in the comments, pin it as a comment. I haven't pinned any comments before. Maybe that'll be a good exercise for me. But we're going to continue on here. So we're going to shut this off. And it looks like my first overlay attempt worked pretty well. All right, cool. Well, you could see all that. Well, anyway, I am ready to continue on and try this out. I've been waiting to play this and try this out for a bit. I kind of researched these additional endings. I don't know anything about them. I haven't done any spoilers because I don't want the game spoiled for myself, but I did want to make sure that the content was rich and that the people that were watching this were actually seeing new stuff and we weren't going through the same endings over and over and over again. So I'm not sure how many of these endings we're going to be able to get through in one video. Half of them, a quarter of them, I'm not sure, but this is what's going to kind of guide our endings for the rest of this. Try to knock out the rest of the content, see what else is out there. So sit back and relax and we're going to watch some crazy narrator content as always. All right, you ready? All right, begin the game. The end is never the end is never the end. I can't believe how much additional content there is hidden in the game.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
So one of the things I noticed when I looked online, when I was looking up some information about this game, spoiler alert, there's no way to get all the content for this game without looking up spoilers. You almost have to look up stuff because some of the endings for this game that I was noticing, some of the things you have to do are just absurd. I looked at some of the achievements for the game too, and I know that is something else I want to do at some point. I just looked up, and we're going to do this now. This isn't an ending, but this is supposed to be an achievement I just found out. So apparently, if I'm reading this right, there's supposed to be, there's a thing that says click on door 430 430 times. Is that right? Oh no. Okay, no. Thank goodness. It's not 430, it's 5 times. So let's try it.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks.
Yeah.
Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
Okay, now 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes,
all right.
Almost certainly 50 clicks.
Okay, for real? Is he gonna make me go to 430? All right. We're clicking as fast as we can. Let's go.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Is he gonna make me run around and go find other door 417? Where's door 147? This game, man. See, this is what I'm talking about. How would I have ever found that? That's crazy. 417. Where is door 417 though? I'm gonna have to go find that door. This is awesome. 417. Here we go. Hey, this is it. How many times did he say to hit it? We're gonna find out.
Great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Oh my gosh. This is like, I'm 100% cognizant that this dude is putting me on a fetch quest, but because I'm in on the joke and he's unapologetically just making me go on a fetch quest and he's trolling, I'm 100% on board. All right, where was 437? Was that in here? Oh, here it is.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
415. All right, 415. Is it in here? It's not in here, and there's no doors in here, so I guess we're getting pushed down the pathway. 15. Oh, there we go.
Now, back to door number 437.
Let's go. 437. That was in here, and that was right around the corner. I'm remembering where the doors are now.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
I'll do it. The copy machine.
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
417. That's in this hallway. I know it is. I remember now.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
Climb? Can we...
Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
We can climb on desks? That's interesting. I wonder if that means there's other areas we can climb on like that. 416. I know that's not in here, right? We said it's not in here. So is 416 like further down the main hall? Because that's 417 and 415 is here. I feel like I shouldn't continue through this area. I feel like 416 has got to be in here. I feel like I missed it. It's got to be somewhere around in here. 416. I can't interact with this, right? Where is 416 at? Was this 416 before the new content? Did I break this?
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Okay. So apparently I didn't lose it. I think 416 must have been this door at one point, and then when they made the new content, they just moved 416 here. That's a good idea. I wonder if this was like an oversight and they didn't realize it and they had to add this later or something, because that seemed like an accident.
We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
We're gonna go! The copy machine!
Finish it off, Stanley!
We can do it.
5 clicks on door 430!
5 clicks on 430. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes! We did it!
Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago, you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
That's a lesson to learn, though, for real. It's actually funny, because as far as game design is concerned, 5 clicks in door 430 really actually would have not felt like anything, but I will remember this now. Like, I know this might sound like I'm over-exaggerating, but for real, that's actually good game design. Like, it went from just being 5 clicks in door 430 and I was checking a box and finished the content of the game, but now I actually will remember this or have a higher chance of remembering this. It was a funny experience. That's awesome. I love that. That's super cool. All right, next one here. The window at room 434. Okay, I just looked at the flowchart, and I gotta tell you something. If you were paying really close attention to one of my earlier videos, like the very first video, I made some comment about being able to jump. And there was a part of my brain, like a real part of my brain that remembered there being some little content the first time I ever played this game, over 10 years ago. I remembered falling out of a window. I knew it, and I just looked, and it wasn't right here. If you go back and watch my video, I tried to get up on the desk here, because I was like, I feel like I can get up here. I was like, why can't I jump? And then later, when I found the new content, I thought, oh, you can jump. That's how you did it. And I was like, no, that doesn't make sense because the new content wasn't in the game back then. So why was I able to jump? I was never able to jump back then. What it was I was able to climb on a desk like we just saw a minute ago, and it wasn't this desk. It was over here. There it is. Look at that. You can climb on the desk. You can see right there.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes.
Yeah.
So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be?
Oh, yeah.
Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in?
That's
Okay,
right.
I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Are you sick of this gag? You can actually interact? No, I'm not sick of this gag.
Ah, then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different?
Oh.
Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option?
Yeah.
Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones, though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other options so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue
coming
with
back.
the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Oh, do I have to hit yes to end this? Oh, Am I just stuck? Am I just stuck? You actually have to say begin the game again. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Okay, begin the game again. We're going back. We're gonna get the other ending. That's so funny. Like, he's like, how far will you go? How far would you go in order to hear this full narration? And the answer is, let's do the other one. Let's go.
What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Am I sick of this gag yet? Yes.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want. Like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. You too will become quite unbearable.
That was beautiful, man. This game is such a trip, dude. Is that it? He's just gonna keep playing the guitar now? All right, I think that's it. Begin the game again. All right, let's go do another one. I think there's a few more endings down towards the boss's room. That's what it looks like. So we're gonna go try that. So I've never really tried to hit the little elevator button and go down and try it again. And it looks like there's something about hitting the elevator buttons again. I don't know why I wouldn't have thought of that. I think I've always clicked it and went straight down. And I think in one of the videos, I tried to click the up button when I got on it the first time. I should just be able to click this and go straight up from the very beginning, and you couldn't do it. But then we learned later on when we did the museum ending that there used to be an up and a down that led to two different endings, paradise ending or whatever they called it, as well as bomb ending. We were like up and down. I think that's what they said when we did the museum, if you remember. Because they said that the museum, that there used to be a choice in the elevator, but the problem was people could never remember which one was which, and that caused a little bit of confusion. So they put all those endings going down instead. But I've never turned around and looked to see if you can interact with the elevator after you get off of it, because a lot of the times in this game you get locked behind the door will seal, and it just kind of like forces you forward. Once you've gone a certain distance, then the game locks you on that track. And it looks like in this case there's actually something you can do, which is funny because again, when I pressed down in a previous video, I clicked the up button sometimes to see if it would do anything or stop the elevator. I also tried clicking the up button from the very start. I've never tried to click the button after being down here. So this is going to be interesting. You can click up again.
Whoops. Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
See, this is interesting. I would not have even thought about getting back on the elevator. Does it do anything?
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
I wonder if I can go back up and down it a few times, if there's like other buttons that appear. The game does funny things like that, so we're gonna go do that again. But apparently there's an achievement for hitting a certain sequence of buttons on this pad, which blows my mind because I went back and I watched my videos and I thought, there's no way I didn't try that out. And sure enough, I didn't try the sequence. In one of my previous videos, if you go back and watch, one of the first times I ever came through here, the first time I ever heard the narrator talking, I pressed 1 1 1 1 3 3 3 3 5 5 5 5 7 7 7 7, and the whole time I'm smiling like an idiot in the video. And then at some point I let the narrator finish what he was talking about. I didn't realize how close I was to finding something right beside it. Unbelievable.
8.
He said 8. Yeah, he said 8. Okay. 8, 8, 8. I feel like a crazy person right now. Doesn't seem to be working. I wonder if this door has to be closed before that. Maybe I was supposed to have had the door closed. Yeah, that would make sense. Maybe the keypad needs to have not been initiated already. That's probably what's going on. I'll have to come back. Huh. All right, let's try to go back down, see what that does.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this? Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he?
Or will he? Chaos agent.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
It's so passive aggressive. Oh, it's the boss's office.
Oh my god. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a timeout here for a minute while I process this. Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait. I need more time to process.
Tricky bird. I forgot those existed. They used to be like pretty common desk toys, I think. I just kind of forgot they existed. That's crazy.
All right, I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Let's do it again. Down again.
Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
What can I say? I'm an innovative guy. Old Stanley's innovative. We're going back up. Anything? Oh, looks like nothing this time. Maybe we're out of content. Maybe that was it.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow? There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started.
Sure do.
But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the character? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate, and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years, and it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley, because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why... Oh, I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh, good, we're here.
What? What is this? Was this what was above the boss's office the whole time and we never knew?
Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
Stock photos, world's healthiest human being, all tricks revealed. How we did it, the pyramids. Live, the guy who went to Mars. Live on stage, all eyes on Stanley. I'm the main event! The main event! World peace, baby. An evening with the world peace. What?
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door.
Not that door, but where the big sign that says stage door. What's over there, though? I just can't help myself. Oh, the man, the process, the myth, the legend, the parable. Stanley from the Stanley Parable tonight, live on stage. The Stanley Parable Stanley tonight, live on stage. The world's first sentient machine. A Q&A with the crane. A claw machine is the first sentient. Doing great. A conversation with Alexander the Great. To the stage. Welcome, Stanley.
Are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry. You'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley.
Thanks.
Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get them.
Okay, to stage. Welcome, Stanley. Stanley Ryder. Almonds, chair, gum, table, nut bar. Wait, is this the dog? What's that little check mark? Do you guys see that? This is like the same whiteboard that there was for the dog bark sound on the whiteboard ending that we saw before. So I wonder what that little check mark is. We just clicked something and I don't know if we were supposed to. See, what I'm wondering if that's actually something that we just found. Is that actually a cool little Easter egg? Or is that just a leftover from the fact that maybe they repurposed this asset and didn't think that people would come down here and check for the same exact check mark as in a previous thing? I wonder if this is just the same asset they use it again. Curious. All right, it's over here. An audience with the dude who came up with pizza. Man, I would love to hear this guy's opinion on current political trends and the socioeconomic, pitfalls of the current tariff policy. Honestly, he's changed so many people's lives, touched on many hearts through artery clogging, as it were. Congratulations, Stanley. Remember where you came from, your coworkers. Break a leg, champ, your boss. Stanley, my true love for you grows every day. You make me feel alive. Your wife, from the apartment ending. I love the way you ride elevators, heart. No one tells stories the way you do. Go get him, Tiger. Thanks for showing me that cool skateboard trick in the parking lot. You are too cool. Good luck on stage. Rock on. Up again, down again. The Stanley story. What is this? Some kind of a suitcase? I played the demo. Mind control facility. This is funny. 8. An unforgiving account of ups as well as downs. Highs and lows, isn't that what life's about? Does that say Steven Stairs Walker? Oh, I didn't even catch the other one. It says an unforgiving account of ups and as well as downs from Ellie Vader, like elevator. Those little details like that, there's so much care is put into this game, my gosh. Featuring keynote speaker, The Lord, a meet and greet. All right, I'm ready for my close-up. That was it? That almost felt unfinished or like we did something wrong. I guess Stanley doesn't talk, so it can't exactly be the narrator giving the speech. That was weird, just abrupt, and all of a sudden we're back to the beginning, and that was kind of odd. Well, anyway, okay, we're gonna start doing these now. Awaiting input. Input received. That's number 1. We're gonna try to get all 5 of those tonight. We're heading back down there because I think there's a few more endings that we haven't seen down there. So I'm gonna try to click 8 on this thing a bunch.
This was too much for Stanley to take. Too much for any man to take. He fell to his knees, bursting into half moans, half sobs, the guttural retching of life from a man denied any hope, any reason to keep going. Here on the floor, he lay prone, paralyzed by fear for nearly a full hour.
What is this?
But when at last he began to move about and survey the situation, he found a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could it mean? Was it a sign of hope for Stanley's future? Alas, it was not. For although this keypad guarded the terrible secret of Stanley's past, it had been assigned a 4-digit code so devious and so random that no man could ever hope to guess it. 2845. Statistically, nearly impossible to guess blindly, ever.
That's a whole nother set of lines I've never heard before. That was awesome. We're gonna do 8888 right now, though.
The device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
He said 8. He said 8. And then I got an achievement. It said 88888. Those are those little things like that I would have never seen. I would have never known that if I hadn't literally like looked up the thing online. That's awesome. What a cool, I would have never found out any of this without looking things up. There's a lot of Easter eggs and a lot of hidden things in this game that I would have never found. Okay, so there's apparently 2 endings for this little desk in this room. But remember, we just learned a trick in an earlier part of this video. You can climb on desks. Let's try that. You really can't.
Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome! You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development, and you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours, so here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content? Always more content, more, more. And I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game with secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are. We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Very utilitarian. I like it.
Good job, you did it. Good job, 3, 2, 1. Good job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. You jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. You should have been careful. It used to be a bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an ending. And I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams. The railings don't mean anything. Good job, you did it. 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 Good job, you did it.
It's like so sarcastic, but just good enough that it's actually good. That was actually wildly catchy. Like that had no business being as catchy as it was. I had no idea that that was actually in the original game. That's pretty cool insight, right? Originally, the player base found that bug. They were able to climb over that rail. The developers didn't even know that was there. Like, we didn't catch it the first time around. I mean, how would we have even known? I never tried to climb up on some desk this first time I played. Well, I guess it's actually not strictly speaking true, because like I said, way back in 2013, I did climb up on a desk and go out a window, but I don't even remember how I figured that out. But I didn't try doing it everywhere. It was a fluke situation, and I didn't even remember it this time around. So honestly, that's pretty cool that they not only did they acknowledge that the player base found that, but they embraced it, and then they actually made it part of the core experience and kind of made a joke out of it and made light of it alongside all the other people who were, playing the game. That's really cool. That's the kind of stuff that makes a game memorable. People have very positive memories of this game because of little things like that. It's like multiple layers of meta, right? You've got the game, then you've got jokes about the game in the game, and then you've got the people talking about the jokes in the game. Then you've got people finding out things about the game that maybe the game designers and the player base at large didn't know about, and then the designers of the game making a joke about that in the game, about the players talking about the game outside of the game. I don't know, I guess maybe I'm just like overly excited about something that doesn't really matter, but I think that kind of stuff is super clever, super cool, and it just kind of makes a game like this unique and memorable forever. Such an innocuous, simple game. It really isn't that complex, but it's one of my favorite games I think I've ever played. It's so stupid and so awesome at the same time. Honestly, it's great. Okay, so we've got at least one more that I know of that's down there. There's another one in here, which is hilarious. And again, no way would have ever figured that out. You press this, walk across this, press this again. But for this last one, you're supposed to click it, and then when the elevator comes down, you're supposed to not get on the elevator and backtrack down this path. Which is interesting because I thought last time we did this, that was blocked off. Like, I thought these gates closed, right? Like, look down there, they're all closed. So I don't know how that's supposed to happen, but apparently you're supposed to backtrack. Are we supposed to be able to interact with them? I don't think we can open them. We're supposed to be able to go through this. I can't go through this. What do they mean then? How am I supposed to go? I thought it said that you were supposed to be able to go back through these gates. Is there like a secret lever or some button I'm supposed to be able to press in order to open this thing? I don't understand. Did you see that? They opened on their own. What the heck? Yeah, they're all open. This really is an ending. You're supposed to come back here and you're supposed to press the button again. Okay, let's see. Never give up on your dreams. Man. We didn't even talk, it's just music. Disco secrets. William hides the best secrets. Once you go secret, you never go secret. Secret. Disco secrets. Faithfully golden secrets 2022. Never give up on your dreams. Secret room 2014. Secret mode engaged. Never give up on your secrets. Secret of the year every year. Go secret rangers. Super secret bros. This is so stupid, I love it. Okay, let's bring it down.
Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
I have never heard that line of dialogue before. Okay, and there's supposed to be one more ending right here that I would have never in a million years thought of doing, which is walk into the boss's office and right before the door closes, you walk back out. So here we go. Well, that's weird. See the lighting on that? That's odd.
Here's the door.
We got locked out of the office. We got locked out. There's some kind of a weird light glitch going on there. I don't think that they expect you to be getting this ending or doing this ending after exhausting all the dialogue for the keypad frustration part. Every time I get close to this, you'll see. Look at this. Watch the lighting. It was getting dark. Yeah, look at that. Kind of weird. A third one. We've never seen this one before. Awaiting input. We got another one. Number three. So I wonder what we're supposed to do now. Can I go through? No, that's locked. Is the bathroom unlocked? Wait. Are we able to backtrack all the way to the beginning? Where are we going? So we're like locked out of that ending. Can we still do all the normal parts of the game? But there's the new content button. Interesting. I don't see anything different. Do we just lock ourselves out of it? I don't. Do you guys see the door? Do you see that door? The door beside Stanley's office is open. It's never been open before. I almost got like shivers. That creeps me out. Like I'm not seeing what's that direction. Oh, that's kind of freaking me out. It's a black room. Dude, this is so foreboding. Like, no. Oh. It's a whole... What is this? You are now leaving. What the heck? A red 754. Just some random doorway. Can't go 432. Escape pod bay, floor 76. Escape pod bay. What in the world? Red door, elevator. Okay. So I'm supposed to just keep on going up because I think it said the escape pod bay is on 760. So we just got to keep going up. This is wild. How did we never know this was here before? This is crazy. Can I just take a second to say how crazy it is that there's this much additional content that I just had no idea. Like I would have never known if I hadn't found some online resource to find it. That's so crazy. It's awesome. This game is nuts. Uh-oh. Is this the last one? I think we're there. Escape pod launch bay. Would it be funny if this game, like, if the game crashed when he got on the escape pod, like a super meta joke, like it's like hitting the escape button? Where are we going here? It's all dark. I turned around. I can't see anything in here. Oh, a red door of some kind. What is this? Oh, that was it. That was kind of weird. That is just an escape pod. We just got out. See, those endings like that one, just like the press conference one, are kind of weird. They just feel like the narrator didn't say anything, and I have grown fond of and grown accustomed to, used to, and almost expectant of the narrator having something to say under any circumstance like that. So it's really weird when you go that long without the narrator saying anything at all, let alone for it to go that long and then the ending to happen without there being a narrator being involved. That's really weird, an eerie feeling, almost like we cheated or something. That's strange. Huh. Okay, so we've got a few more endings in the cargo area, the right pass. Okay, so there's supposed to be another one right here on this and walk right back off.
Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Sorry to break it to you, Stanley, but that lift isn't coming back. You'd best either get comfortable right here on this platform or test your luck by jumping to the floor below.
Dude, we've already done that.
You know what? Looking at it now, it's not that far to the bottom floor. I bet you can make it.
No. Is he saying I have to jump?
Come on. I'm sure you'll survive the jump. Don't tell me you're scared. That's not the Stanley I know. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Fine.
Whoops. Looks like I was wrong. How clumsy of me.
That was quick.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
I don't think I've heard that dialogue either. So nothing is changing inherently in the game from what I can tell. And we're hearing more noises and weird things like that. Ambient noise I heard outside, new dialogue when I restart. The only thing I can think of is every time I hit one of those buttons and click an input, it's tallying that and counting up towards something. It's bright? What does he mean it's bright? It's brighter than normal? It doesn't look brighter. Is it? Is it? I don't think it's brighter. Huh, anyway. Oh! Number 4. We got number 4. Number 4. Here we go. Let's do it. Input received. We just got one more left. I wonder where we're gonna get the next one. Surely there's not another one in the same playthrough, right? That would feel dirty. I don't think they do that. But again, that's this game. They do like playing around and doing that kind of stuff. Okay, so we're back here. There's supposed to be another ending. There's like a vent or something over the ledge. I don't see a vent. I don't think I can hug this. Whoa, do you see that? Oh, there's a vent there. I wonder how I'm supposed to get to that. Can I like... Oh! I wonder if you can get down there too. I want to go down this vent, but I also want to go down here and see if this kills us. Let's jump down here and see if this kills us.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, good job,
it
Stanley.
killed us. All right, let's get right back there.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
What is he talking about? What is going on? What is going on? That's a whole new set of dialogue again. I'm gonna restart and see if there's any new dialogue there again. I keep wanting to restart because I still remember from a long playthrough a long time ago we did where I swear there was a second different starting office, right? We see often this is the beginning, but occasionally we'll get that blue office room, right? That big opening room. But I swear, I don't know if I'm like gaslighting myself into a false memory, but I swear there was a third different room that appeared in one of my videos that I ended the video there because it's like, oh, we don't have time to do that. We'll come back and see that. Surely we'll see it again, and we haven't yet. I don't know. No way. Okay. I would have never saw that. I just hit my mouse. What the heck? Hold on. Is that how it's supposed to happen? I'm curious. It's supposed to happen in the office. I didn't know, but I guess we're doing this one now. Welcome, Stanley, to heaven? Oh, a bunch of buttons. Am I supposed to click all of them? I don't know why I'm assuming that there's a rhyme to the reason here. I'm gonna go back this way and make it easier on myself. Oh no, they shut off. I don't know what's going on. Is this it? This is so weird. I think that's it. I don't think we can do anything else. This is so... so random. What? What? This doesn't seem like it. This seems like hell. Can you imagine this is all you hear for the rest of your life and there's just buttons and for about 3 seconds when I was here this was fascinating, and then after that this just seems like some weird combination of a straight jacket room mixed with like a monk holy temple mixed with the Price is Right spinoff. We're gonna restart though. I think that's it. That's so strange. After all of that, that's all we got? What? That's it? I feel cheated. Oh, and so now it's just there. You can go there again. Interesting. I wonder if you just keep on going back there, if it's always the same. Now, here's a question. I wonder if when I start the game over, if I actually leave the game and come back in, if that's going to restart the counter. I also wonder, I talked earlier about the bucket, right? I wonder if the bucket has an ending for that. I guess I could look, but I don't know. I don't really feel like looking too much. I mean, I wanted to find as many endings as I could that we hadn't found prior to the bucket before I go in and do the bucket. And then after that, I'm just going to play the game with the bucket and see what happens.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
And so now we're back on the regular dialogue that the narrator normally gives us. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, we're good at that. Got it both times. All right, down the vent we go. I wonder where this will go. I wonder if this is going to take us to the other place. Yo, this is eerie. This is weird. This is like not much different in terms of the office. The aesthetic doesn't feel super different, but the green floor totally changes the feel.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. That it seemed the office had begun. That it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
Oh my gosh. That ending, more than any ending so far, played on my preconceived notions and messed with me. Because he was right. Walking into that room, I was like, oh, this is odd. Then turned a corner, oh, that's really strange. Oh, then I hear his voice get further and further into only one cup of my earphones, and like the stereo goes away. That was odd. I walk up the stairs, and this is kind of a quirky little, and then I see the little cassettes on the ground. And my brain just went, and then as I started to kind of come to the realization that it was a recording, I'm not gonna lie, I got a pit in my stomach. That made me kind of sick. And I felt real uncomfortable for a moment there, and like there was a bit of like goosebumps, and I did not. You probably saw it in the video. If you go back and watch, I bet my reaction was pretty visceral. I did not feel comfortable with that. This brings us full circle back to the very first video where I talked about the Matrix, the idea that everything is all a dream and it's whatever, like the kind of Inception kind of stuff. I don't know. That was starting to make me really uncomfortable. But it's actually hilarious too, because then he took and he managed my expectations in such a way. Like he knew, and the designers of the game knew what the player, myself, and we, the viewers, if you were in the same, maybe you thought something different than me, but at least I know I felt as if that's what the revelation was going to be. was that this was all just a dream. And so he flipped that on its head, turned the narrative around, and instead told us, no, it's not all in your head. I'm real, you know. And it actually took a moment that made me actually feel dread, slapped me in the face, and made me realize, yeah, no, that's actually funny, because that is a trope, right? It was all just a dream, as in so many different movies, from, you know, to some degree, like partially The Matrix, like the Inception movie, you know, clear back, like the movies in the 90s that were really popular, like, this is an odd one to think of, but like the movie The Page Master. Does anybody even remember that movie with Macaulay Culkin, when he kind of falls asleep, he gets knocked out, falls on the floor of a library, and all the different, you know, colors, and, you know, the paint goes on top of him, and he gets pulled into the books and all that other. Anyway, that's a deep dig. If you're not above 30, you probably don't know what that is. Either that, or you would have had to spend an enormous amount of time at your grandma's house when you were a Zoomer as a kid. Some dusty old VHS tapes. But yeah, no, that was a wild ending. I did not expect that, to be honest. That was weird. As I said, like the narrator endings, where the narrator talks to you, the recording one, the voice where he talks to your, like, talks about your life and the wife, the apartment ending, those kind of endings are really eerie. The ones that where he like directly talks to you, or kind of like, you know, manages your expectations or twists your expectations. The bomb ending, when he says, you know, how many times are you going to replay this ending? When he said that hit me like a ton of bricks. When he said that hit me like a ton of bricks. Anyway, we're gonna stop here for the night. I've cleared, I think, every basic ending. I guess I could just show you really quickly. I'll pull this up. You can kind of see here, we just went through and did the recording ending. So now that marks every single base red ending in the game, outside of the sequel, which will then unlock the bucket, it says, as well as the figurine ending, which requires us to get 6 figurines, which I guess you can't even unlock until you've gone to the new content endings. The underwhelm ending, I'm wondering what that one is. I don't think we've done that one, but part of me, if you go back and you watch the first new content ending, there's a part where you walk up a set of stairs and he says, Stanley, over here, and then you have to crawl through a vent, and we went that way. But moments before that, I kind of turned and I walked up a set of stairs, and I looked and there was a door, and I was like, we'll come back to that. And I completely forgot about that. I actually was rewatching through one of my videos to see which endings I had done when I was researching this the first time, and I realized we never went back to do that, so we're gonna need to do that. So again, the sequel ending, the underwhelm ending, I don't know if we've done that. More to come. The figurine ending, which is not accessible right now. The epilogue ending, but that requires us to have unlocked everything. And then finally, the big elephant in the corner, if you're watching. Down here in the corner, you can see that if we play the baby game for 4 hours, we will unlock an ending called the art ending. I am not ashamed to say that I am not going to do that. Roast me in the comments if you want. I value my time more than that. Colin, you were one of the people. He made a joke about using a macro to unlock this. No, I am not. No. If you want to go see the art ending, more power to you. Go YouTube it. I won't fault you for it. I am not going to sit through 4 hours for one ending like that. The juice is not worth the squeeze. Back in 2013, and I was trying to find all of the little secrets and nobody knew yet, then sure, maybe I'd try something goofy like that. Actually, I don't even know if I do it then, because then you don't know at all if your 4 hours are worth anything. Although he did say, if you play this game for 4 hours, he does say that. So maybe there would have been a kind of a justification for trying to, because some crazy individual, some dude sat down, underwear or his pajamas, cooked 2 Hot Pockets, and just sat and vegged out watching random YouTube Dragon Ball Z AMVs and Halo montages, and just sat there in his skivvies, sat there in his underwear, and quite literally let his one monitor, and you know he had one monitor, this was 2013, he sat with his one monitor setup and just let this game play for 4 hours in the background. That is some dedication. I don't know how you do that. I mean, you would have to literally be doing it exclusively for the memes, for the video content. There has to be some additional reason, because otherwise that's just crazy. I could not do that. But either way, that's gonna be it for the night. We have pretty well exhausted all of the vanilla endings, and moving forward, the next part of the game is gonna be the new endings, where we unlock the bucket and we see all true, all new content. So if you're excited to see some of that, like, subscribe, check out the next video, click the input button multiple times or whatever, because next time we're gonna find out what happens when Stanley tackles all the same endings with a bucket. Because as we've learned, the end is never the end. It is never the end. Is never the end. See ya. Bye.